Today we're taking a look at the Kato N-Scale JR East Yamanote line E235 series EMU. If you're unfamiliar, the Yamanote line is basically Tokyo's most important and popular rail line. It connects to all around the city by going in a big loop. This is also my first N-Scale train set. Thanks to BonsaiHobby.com for sponsoring this video and sending me this to review for free. They are an online hobby store from Japan. If you want, you can check them out, link in the description. So this set comes with 4 cars, 2 N cars, a pantograph car, and a regular standard coach. So let's get started on car 1. So this is the first car in the formation, where the train driver operates a train. So on top it says Yamanote line, it's an LED display, some headlights and marker lights on the sides, a number with this blue tinted line. And actually didn't know this, apparently they have 3 windshield wipers, 2 at the bottom and then 1 on the side. For the interior there's some train controls, set number 3, and this futuristic pixel gradient, pretty cool design. Then the face has this lime green border around it. It actually sticks out away from the body, making it more square. Then at the bottom we have the Shibata train coupler, and interestingly enough it's pretty much static, so it does not move at all. Then we have the plow at the bottom. It's being held by some support beams on the sides. There's also some suspension in this car. Alright, so now let's check out the sides. So apparently this rooftop antenna is a separate piece. Here is the JR logo. JR stands for Japan Railways. Here's a side cab window and a crew door for the conductors and train drivers. Nicely molded in detail with some small printing at the bottom. Then below we have this bogie with some free rolling wheels. The passenger doors are painted in green with a latch on one side, and the windows are tinted in this greenish bluish color. Further along we have this singular window here with a vent on top, molding at the bottom, another doorway, then some underside detail with a lot of boxes. Moving along we have this air conditioner on the roof. It's pretty much on all cars. Display board here, and a standard window here with a line divider. Yet another door here. Check out the little details all around. In the back we have the final set of doors. It says the car number and accessibility, and a small window here at the end, which is where the gangway to walk between the cars is. There's actually no glass here, so it's completely hollow. Gangplank at the bottom, lots of molded in detailings throughout, and the Shibata coupler. This time it's actually movable. On the side again we have a window here, text at the bottom, and the rest is pretty much symmetrical. Maybe the underside detailing is different though. And if you look on the interior, there's actually a cab window door you can see right there on the left. As for the rest of the interior detail, there's honestly not that much. It's pretty flat in the inside. Maybe you could see some benches. Now let's go take a look on the roof detail. So in the front we got some antennas. There's like 2 main designs, some lines going across, the air conditioner in the middle. You could even see the fan blades on the inside, some lines and rivets molded in. Overall looks pretty nice. And on the sides there's these 2 long bars. Then in the back we have another pair of antennas. These ones are painted white. Now let's check out what it looks like from the bottom. So in the front we got the free rolling truck, got some underside detailing. It appears to have a slot inside, and Kato trains are made in Japan. Some more detailing at the bottom and the rear. And here's how the coupler moves. It kind of goes everywhere inside the box quite freely. So this is car 10, and it's actually special because there's different door spacing. This end has an additional window here, while if you look at the middle windows, the first window is narrower than the other ones. Now let's flip it around. The top and bottoms are shiny, but the middle is flat. And they even changed the detailing per side, just like the prototype. As for the roof, there is like this box here, and 2 pedestals. Now this car has a lot less boxes than the first car. Each of these cars actually have different bottom detailing. And one thing I've noticed is these trapezoids around each of the parts that stick out. So I think that's just an artifact from the molding process. And here's the other side. So next we've got the pantograph car. It's also the motor car, so it's quite heavy. So here's what it looks like on the ends, some wires going along to the top. The windows are pretty much standard, they're all the same size. Here's a closer view of the bottom detail. The interior is pretty flat. And here's a look at the other end. And notice the window dividers, they do not line up per side. And here's a look on the bottom detailing. Now there is this giant box behind it because there is the motor inside. And if you look at the trucks, you can see the gears, like the traction motors. And the truck has a rod to connect with the motor with a magnet, which is located in the middle. And here's the other side. Now this car is equipped with 2 pantographs on the roof. I liked how they molded in all the wires and connections to attach to the pantograph, which to raise it you simply just pull it up and rotate the bars at the top so it looks like this. Pretty cool looking. The other side pantograph has different detailing around it, and I like how they molded in the support arm as well, not just one. And this is where the train would draw its power from the overhead lines, which they use DC power. So here's the last car, car 11. It's the other end car. Now how's it different from the first one? Well, the roof detail is different. The white antennas, they switch places, and car 11 has 2 additional pedestals in the back. And also the bottom detailings are different as well for each of these cars. So to connect the couplers, you simply just push to fit in the slots. And there you go, it's pretty secure. You can move it back and forth, side to side. Here's the range of motion. It can rotate pretty sharp curves and rotate apart from each other. And to uncouple, you simply pull them apart. And now let's compare it to HO scale. So I have my AC4400 here. Just see the size comparison between the two. Roughly, N scale is half the size of HO. This train is 1 to 150 scale, and roughly 2 of these cars equal 1 regular locomotive. Here's with my smallest HO scale locomotive, the MP15AC, an excavator, a Humvee, and the Kato coupler height gauge. It's roughly 5 inches long. So now let's go take a look at the tracks. So here's your standard straight track. They have painted wooden ties, a uni joiner at the end. Here's what it looks like underneath. One thing that caught my eye while looking at the bottom of these, the middle parts are actually semicircles, and again made in Japan. And they also added some black spots in the balance for detailing. So now let's compare it to my HO scale Unitrack. It's actually pretty similar in length, just the N scale is a tad bit longer. And here's the N scale track. It's 45 degrees comparison with HO, and it comes with these shorter tracks. At first these two look the same, but at the bottom one of them is actually a feeder track, and they have holes on the sides for the wire to slide out of. So to feed power to the track, you simply put in this blue wire inside the slot, and then put the wire off to one side. Pretty convenient. So next up we have this level crossing track, and it's also used as a re-railer, so there are some grooves for that. Then if you look at the bottom, you see there's 2 pairs of teeth, and this is where you would attach the slope road. You simply slide it in the slot, and you would do this on both sides, so it looks like this. It also comes with this additional piece. Now at first I had no idea what's it for, but it turns out you can add it to the side of it as well, and connect another level crossing to the side of it. Now you can't attach another slope to it. Now here's the dedicated re-railer to put rolling stock on the tracks easily. There's also a ruler on one end, and at the bottom there's some slots so you can line up the tracks. I also got a siding to make the loop more interesting. So if you turn off the throttle, the lights come on, but it doesn't move at first. It takes a while and gradually builds up speed, so it has an incredibly low crawl speed. This is good because a lot of trains aren't good at slow speeds. They kind of jitter around, while this one is quite smooth. If you remember from the beginning of this video, it came with these boards, so you can actually swap the signs on the end cars. So here's how the shell looks like off its chassis inside, and here's what the interior looks like, and here's a view of the cab in the front. So you can swap the LED board where it says Yamanote line for one of these, bound for Shinagawa or Ikebukuro, so I put the Shinagawa one. So it looks like this, and apparently the windows can pop off. So here's the train fitted with the bound for Shinagawa sign versus Yamanote line. Although from far away, honestly, it's hard to tell exactly what it is. Only if you go up real close, you can tell they are different. So for my final thoughts, I've always wanted to get a Yamanote line train. It's very iconic and probably one of the best trains in Japan. If you ever travel to Tokyo, you'll probably ride it as I did when I visited Japan. Kato did a pretty good job with this. The coating has a nice shine to it, nice molded in detailing, and it's smooth both at high and low speeds. And I like the fact that you can turn the train on in DC just to show the lights on without the train moving, which is good for taking pictures. There's definitely a lot of subtle details that I learned just having this model in person, like the fact that the number in the cab has its own light, and there's this blue line, or the additional windshield wiper, front coupler doesn't move, the extra display signs, and found it pretty cool that the star set comes with this extra storage jar, so if you want to put in like spare tracks or accessories, you can put in there. It's a pretty nice star set and my first N scale set, so definitely a lot smaller than I'm used to, but you can fit in a larger layout in a smaller amount of space. It's relatively affordable. I mean, if you get something like this in HO, it costs twice as much. They do have expansion sets to complete the full train, which is pretty long. Kato has so much more accessories in N scale than HO, like stations, bridges, crossing signals. And by the way, a huge thanks to banzaihobby.com for sponsoring this video. If you guys are interested in getting model trains from Japan, check out their website. They actually have a lot of variety and more than just trains, but hobby items in general, so check them out. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. What's your experience with N scale or Japanese trains? If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.